In a small, peaceful town, there lived a boy named Rayan. He was about 17 years old, tall and always smiling. Rayan went to the local school just like any other kid. He wore simple clothes, carried a normal backpack, and never acted proud. Everyone in the school liked him, not because he had anything special, but because of his kind heart and humble nature. Rayan helped others without being asked. If someone dropped their books, he would be the first to pick them up. If a classmate forgot their lunch, he would share his own without hesitation. He never spoke badly about anyone, and he always listened carefully when others talked. What no one knew was that Rayan came from a very wealthy family. His father was a successful businessman who owned several companies in different cities. Their house was actually a huge mansion located far from town, hidden behind large trees and gates. Rayan came to school by bicycle, not because he had no car, but because he didn't want attention. He didn't wear branded shoes, even though his wardrobe was full of them at home. He never talked about money or showed off. To everyone, he was just a simple, good boy. Even the teachers admired him. "Rayan, you're a rare gem," his math teacher once said, always humble and always helping. Some students had rich parents too, and they would often boast about their latest phones, expensive watches, or trips abroad. Rayan just smiled and said nothing. He never made others feel small. One day, something unusual happened. The school announced a charity event to help rebuild a village that had been damaged by floods. Students were encouraged to bring donations or help collect funds. Rayan quietly joined the organizing group. He went door to door with a team of students to collect small donations. People gave what they could. Some gave clothes, some gave food, and others gave a little money. The school set a goal to raise 1 million rupees. But after 2 weeks, they had only reached half of that amount. The principal looked worried. "We tried our best," he said during a morning assembly. "But we still need 5 lakh rupees. If we don't collect it soon, we might not be able to help the village fully." Students felt sad. They had worked so hard. Everyone was silent. Then Rayan stood up. "Sir," he said softly, "can I talk to you privately after assembly?" The principal nodded. After the assembly, Rayan walked into the office and spoke for just a few minutes. The principal's eyes widened in surprise. He stood up, shook Rayan's hand, and smiled warmly. The next day, during another assembly, the principal made an announcement. "Students," he said, "I have good news. A generous donor has come forward and given the remaining 5 lakh rupees. We have reached our goal." Everyone clapped and cheered. "Who gave the money?" they asked. The principal looked at Rayan and smiled. "I had promised to keep it private," he said, "but the donor has agreed to let me share the truth now. It was Rayan." Silence fell over the crowd. For a moment, no one said anything. Then one student shouted, "Rayan!" "But how?" Another added, "He's just like us. He never talks about money." The principal continued, "Yes, and that's what makes this even more special. Rayan's family is wealthy, but he never showed it. He never wanted special treatment. He believed in kindness, not pride. He wanted to help, not to be praised, but because it was the right thing to do." Tears welled up in some students' eyes. They began clapping again, this time louder, more heartfelt. After the assembly, everyone wanted to talk to Rayan. Some hugged him, others thanked him. But Rayan just smiled and said, "Please don't treat me any differently. I'm still the same Rayan." From that day, the students respected him even more, not because he had money, but because he had proved that being rich in heart is more important than being rich in the wallet. Rayan's story spread beyond the school. People in the town heard about the boy who had so much but never showed off. Some called him the hidden gem of the town. Reporters came to interview him, but Rayan always said the same thing. "I didn't do anything big, I just did what I thought was right." Years passed. Rayan grew up and went on to start his own foundation to help the poor. But even then, he kept his humble lifestyle. He still wore simple clothes, still listened more than he spoke, and still helped others without asking for anything in return. And to this day, whenever people in that town talk about kindness, they mention Rayan, the boy who had everything but lived as if he had nothing, and gave everything without ever asking for thanks.